was suspended for the season. That was a suspension handed down by the Boston Celtics. Uh, so if he leaves Boston, then obviously he be able to come back and be on the sideline right then because he's no longer with the Boston Celtics.
The
But
Celtics.
as
Correct.
as a franchise, as a organization, trying to put yourself in a position to get rid of all the chaos and get rid of all the shenanigans and the bug crap behind the scenes and within the locker room. What that it doesn't help, the circus act that's going on right now in Brooklyn to bring in a guy that's basically on suspension, from the team that he's at. Boston gave him the green light to go ahead and seek employment elsewhere, basically saying, "Hey, we're ready to move on." Um, you was in the finals last season, so if you're so easy to
But
just get rid of a guy that took your team to a finals appearance last season, obviously we know the situation that happened with him and the you know one female within the organization. But um, if you're a team like the Nets that's trying to look for some type of leadership and you know kind of calm down the circus that's going on. Why would you bring in Udoka, who's going to bring a circus? Because now all they're going to be asking them is questions about what happened in Boston.
well, they could have hired anybody else. They could have gone out. They could have gone out and got anybody else, but they had to get the one guy that is just going to continue this season to be a merry-go-round, and that's never going to end. Like for some reason, Durant wants this. I don't know why. It doesn't. It doesn't seem like anything's going to change with this roster. They can't really improve that much because what kind of trade value does Ben Simmons have, and why would the Nets trade James Harden for Ben Simmons? Why wouldn't they have traded Kyrie Irving at the deadline? Like that would have been a lot easier. They could have traded Kyrie, and I think their situation would have gotten a lot better. But now they're stuck where they are. I mean, on talent alone, they should be fine.
Yeah.
They should be able to right the ship because they have enough talent. The issue is they're not going to go anywhere with it because they have too many distractions. Everything has gone wrong with this team. They got to be at the bottom of the Eastern Conference again when it comes to the playoff standings. I mean, they were what, the 7th seed last year. They had to go to the play-in and they got through. But to me, it seems like this is soap opera drama compared to the Lakers and compared to LeBron and Anthony Davis, any of that stuff. I I don't know what else to say about it, but to be quite frank, that you traded James Harden for Ben Simmons. That's how bad your situation was with those three guys, with Kyrie, KD, and Harden.
Yeah. And
You wanted Ben Simmons,
and,
who
and-
can't even take a hit.
yeah, and what's weird again with all that is Brooklyn before they got KD and Kyrie and Harden, they were a pretty good team with the guys they had in place, and you add KD to that, and you're doing all right. But then they added Kyrie, and then I believe the trade that broke the back of them was, bringing in Harden. I didn't think they needed Harden. They had dudes, they had ballers, they had good players that they just say, we're gonna get rid of you guys, because they wanted a three-headed monster instead of, KD, Kyrie, and now you got a great supporting cast. You didn't need the third. You didn't need the third head. You didn't need James Harden. You had guys collectively that could have gave you more than James Harden on both ends of the court. That would have helped with your depth of the roster. It would have helped with just guys knowing their role and you being able to coach less headaches. So, they kind of put
Well,
themselves in this position.
they gave up a lot. They gave up Jared Allen. They gave up LeVert. They sent Dinwiddie in a different deal out, where he not a different deal. He was a free agent and he left. They also gave up all those picks for Harden too. Let's not forget they gave up a lot of draft picks to get James Harden, and they gave up another first-round pick to get Royce O'Neal out of Utah.
Yep.
To me, everything is just crumbling. I believe in this franchise. It's really hard to trade a guy like Kevin Durant. It's really hard to trade a guy like LeBron James. So when the morning talk shows talk about can the Lakers trade LeBron James? No, they can't. It's LeBron James. You can't trade him. You're stuck with him.
Yep.
That's what it is. Just Kevin Durant, same thing. Like, can you actually trade Kevin Durant? This offseason proved to you that you really can't. Because what's the value of a megastar towards the end of his prime, where you're going to be giving up guys 10 years younger than him when you're trying to get better. Unless you want to win literally this season or maybe next season. Otherwise, there's no point to trade for a guy like Kevin Durant. So for the Nets to put themselves in this spot, it's moronic. Simmons, you can't trade him. Kyrie Irving, he's one of the biggest head cases in the league. I don't think you can trade him, but you won't get great value. It's just an absolute disaster. And, maybe on a lower level, the Lakers, right? Like, the Lakers are a mess. Maybe Darvin Ham is seeing something that Westbrook coming off the bench is going to work. And he might be on to something, and I actually believe he is. But to me, the biggest problem with this team is nobody can shoot. They're the worst three-point shooting team in the league, in a league where you have to be a three-point shooting team in order to compete every night. What is Rob Pelinka thinking when he's like, I don't want any three-point shooters on my roster. I want a bunch of guys that passes to LeBron and AD, some guys that might play defense, maybe not, and a bunch of dudes that drive to the rim. No, you don't fuck. What are you going to do with that? You can't make that work. And when we talked about, right, like before the start of the season, we said Anthony Davis has to be essentially like a Wilt Chamberlain. He has to do everything for this team in order for them to compete night after night after night. Sure, LeBron has to, but he doesn't have to as much as I believe Anthony Davis does when Anthony Davis has a season that he needs this one to prove that he's still this elite guy. We've talked for months that we think he has lost that. And this season needs to be proving that he is. And to me, it's not happening. They're 1-5.
Yeah.
They can't shoot. They traded their only good young player that is okay at shooting, Patrick Beverly, who can't shoot. I don't understand it. I think every game they play, they are closer to being forced to trade that 2027 pick that everybody in the league really wants out of the Lakers. They're getting closer and closer to force themselves to have to trade that pick and include Russell Westbrook, which we've talked in detail about how moronic them to even trade Westbrook as the expiring contract he is, for how much they've given up, for how much he's underperformed, for how not well used Westbrook has been on the Lakers, how the fit hasn't worked, and then on top of it, you're staring at the face that you're going to have to give up this coveted asset, this 2027 first round pick, probably going to have to be unprotected or top 10 protected, maybe at best, in order to get yourself help.
Yeah.
To have actual real NBA players that can actually help you every night. And the only package out there that's probably realistic is Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, which is good. It's a good return. And at this point, Buddy Hield's played excellent for Indiana so far. Miles Turner maybe not so much, but I would say the Lakers are staring at that deal in the face, and they're almost forcing themselves to shoot themselves in the foot even more just to be competitive this year. And as dumb as the Nets are, the Lakers are just as dumb, but they're not as drama filled at the moment.
Yeah, and for the Lakers, it's them and the Brooklyn Nets are pretty much similar situations based on the moves they made surrounding superstar players, and the Lakers for one, to start off 0-5. Listen, if you're a Lakers fan and left field correspondent, he is a Lakers fan, so I'm not sure. He's too happy, and he's left field correspondent is actually listening. He said he can hear the disgust in your voice.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about how a franchise is ran and what their decision makings are when it comes to when we see these deals or who we see them signing for agency. And they signed, Thomas Bryant hasn't played this year. They signed Troy Brown Jr. Can't shoot. There was a bench player in Washington. Their best shooter on their roster, and I'm not even kidding, is Austin Reeves. Literally their best shooter on their roster. Derek, do you even know who Austin Reeves is?
No, I thought you said Austin Rivers, but no, I do not know who Austin Reeves is. Who is Austin Reeves?
Like a 6'5" point guard. He's a white guy. He shoots decent. He's the bench guy that when Westbrook, with the whole Westbrook thing, he might start, he might not. Occasionally, he's not the greatest ball handler, not a defender, not a big guy. He's just a scrawny white dude that shoots threes pretty decently. And that's it's bad, man. Like I bet correspondent over there has to be nodding his head a little bit. I mean, he has to feel. I'm not a Lakers fan. He has to feel the pain of what I'm saying here because you have this window of a superstar like a LeBron James and a used-to-be superstar in Anthony Davis. You still have a chance in this league. But when you construct a roster of a bunch of dudes who are not any good, can't shoot, who probably don't even belong in the league, a lot of them probably don't, outside of maybe a Beverly and, of course, a Westbrook. But most of the other guys are borderline, maybe NBA players, maybe not. You could have gotten away with that back when LeBron was like 25, right? Like they were going all in on Antoine Jameson. They were, we need Larry Hughes. Like they were trying to do things in Cleveland, right? But now it's so mind-boggling to me. Like what was so wrong about keeping Kuzma, KCP, and Harrell? Harrell sucks now. I mean, I get that, but at least Kuzma and KCP are not bad.
Yeah.
And what was so wrong about keeping those guys? You don't have to deal with Westbrook, and now you don't have to deal with staring at giving up this newly coveted asset down the line when in 2027, I bet you the Lakers are one of the worst teams in the league by then, because LeBron has obviously put the pasture by then. They would have traded Davis, or Davis goes away by then, and Westbrook's not in the league by then. And all of a sudden, you gave up all your picks for the Davis trade, and just like the Nets, we just talked about what they're going to experience too when this is all done, that these teams are going to be like when Brooklyn was before they even got KD and Durant, like a couple of years, from the KG and Paul Pierce trade, when that happened, and we saw them crater to the bottom of the league. This is going to happen to the Lakers, and in 2027, they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league, guaranteed. And that's why they don't want to trade this pick, but I think they're almost forced to. And that is bad management. I would fire Rob Pelinka immediately for having to put them in that situation.
Now, let me ask you a question. Pelinka. His claim to fame was what? He was the agent of Kobe Bryant, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason that's the only reason why he has the GM job, is because he was Kobe Bryant's agent. But it's not like this dude had any experience being a team GM of a team. And maybe the Lakers management thought that was a good idea because everything that happened with Kobe, some type of tribute to Kobe, to give this guy a chance to run the day-to-day operations of the Lakers. And so far he's done the best job at destroying the organization from a talent and development standpoint that we've probably ever seen. I mean, if we go down the list and see the amount of talent that they let go after not to get LeBron, because LeBron came in as a free agent. The amount of talent they let go after acquiring LeBron James, which means they didn't have to offload any of those dudes. If you're a true general manager, let's say Pat Riley, and you have that kind of talent on your roster and you add a LeBron James, it's a no-brainer that you keep those guys and you allow them to develop around LeBron. So now you probably have the best team in the league. That's just what could have happened, but it didn't.
Or you could have waited until a disgruntled star was forcing himself out of a situation where maybe, look at it this way. You could have got James Harden for probably a slightly smaller price. You would have got just as good of a player compared to Anthony Davis.
Yep.
I guarantee you would not have to have given up Ball and Ingram in that deal at that time to Houston, who was just desperate to blow it up and to find, obviously to find their best deal. But the Lakers cornered themselves as the only team that the Pelicans were going to be negotiating with. And the Lakers put themselves in that spot. To me, they forced themselves to be in their situation they wanted to be in. And, look at the example here. How good Utah has started. They're one of the biggest surprises in the league. They're supposed to be really bad heading into this season.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing really good ball. Why? Because they actually got pretty decent talent on top of all the picks back from Minnesota and Cleveland in the Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert deals, where the Lakers just got one player and they gave up everything. Now, when we see that Minnesota didn't really give up that much outside of the picks, they gave up a few players, of course, but the players weren't really that significant. I mean, if you're going to tell me that in Malik Beasley, that the Minnesota fans are going to be crying to, go into bed at night crying over Malik Beasley, You're crazy. They're not. Cleveland fans, they didn't have Lauri Markkanen that long, and they didn't have Colin Sexton wasn't the right fit for them. And I think he's overrated. I don't think he's that great. So Cleveland's probably not caring that much about what they gave up to get a Donovan Mitchell. So, but the Lakers had to give up all of their best young talent plus all of those picks for that guy. And as much as we would like to say a bubble title would be worth it, getting a title in general, but LeBron is the only one that's still playing for them currently that's on that team. That was the bubble 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
But except for Anthony Davis. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anthony Davis, of course, was there. But I'm just looking at this going, because you're surrounding them around Rondo and Dwight Howard and, guys that are not going to stay around very long. And if LeBron really wants these type of guys, then, man, I would never want to hire him as a general manager. In my life, I would never hire him. I would never want him to be the owner because he would probably want to trade all his picks and grab, Kevin Love when he's 38 years old or something crazy like that. He'll do something crazy like that if he's an owner. To me, the Lakers' problems are self-inflicted, where the Nets' problems, they could have dealt with them a different way. Yeah, they're self-inflicted, but there's also some other stuff going on that I think is worse than the Lakers' situation is at the moment.
Yeah, and left field correspondent says Pelinka is way worse than Magic. Oh yeah, he's got to be. He's got to be. I mean, to me, Pelinka probably is the worst. I just don't understand, bro. Like, who was the GM before Pelinka?
Well, was it Magic Johnson, like the president of basketball operations or something like that?
Yeah, he was.
It was something like that.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they had an active GM or they were just kind of.
Well, they had Mitch Kupchak for forever, and they eventually got rid of him, and then I don't think they replaced him, and I believe they gave Magic the job of that president of basketball operations. And
okay, so
kudos to Magic. He did draft Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, I was just about to say, man, if Magic was the guy making the calls there, and you look at the slew of talent that they had prior to bringing LeBron James in the picture and Davis, you got to give him some credit for bringing those guys in, and he actually built that team. For the future.
He helped build some things with it. They did some cap trades. They did a few things.
Yeah.
But just think about it, right? Like they drafted Lonzo Ball number 2 that year. But what if it was reversed? What if they drafted Jason Tatum, but then they had to include Jason Tatum in the Anthony Davis deal? Would you just go to LA and just set the building on fire at that point?
That's a good question.
Because if you're the Lakers at that point, you would give up Brandon Ingram and Jason Tatum in the same deal. I mean,
no way.
You can't be that stupid.
I mean,
but I guess you can.
Yeah,
there's always
you can.
Just like in Dumb and Dumber. Oh, just like in Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're telling me there's a chance. I was gonna say. So what is my percentages? Less than 1%. So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah.
That I guess you can be that dumb.
Yeah.
If that were the case, because Tatum and Ball were in that same draft, and the Lakers obviously had the 2 pick, and Tatum went 3? Like, it was something like that, right? But to me, some of these things shape these franchises, and some they do it right. OKC, I believe they're doing it right. Utah, I believe they're doing it right. They're doing actually pretty good.
Yeah.
They're going to start the season off probably pretty decent, and they're going to fall off on the cliff, and that's fine because they got the man that we can't talk about on this show until the All-Star break, waiting in the wings for some franchise to lose their minds over. But we won't talk about him until after the trade deadline. I would spend the whole show talking about him. I can't do it. So, but to me, those teams are probably doing it right. The Magic are doing for their situation. We talked about how they're doing it right.
Yeah.
And we see the direction of what that looks like for the Magic. And I think they actually got a pretty good return in the Aaron Gordon trade.
Yeah.
They got a pretty good return in the Vucevic trade. So, so far, I think the Magic have done these things right. And if somehow Jonathan Isaac will actually play this year,
I was just about to ask about Isaac.
Maybe if he can play enough to like, hey, you want him? Have him. I want a couple first because he has all this potential, right? Like, that's the way that a GM should look at that situation. I just don't think he's a part of your future. But those teams are doing it right. Whereas Miami is just gonna be like, hey, we're gonna win every year. We don't care about picks, but we're not gonna overdo it. They're not gonna overcommit. They're not gonna go crazy. They might spend a lot of money in free agency, but they're not gonna waste their entire future for 1 or 2 year window that they want to maybe extend that window, which is fine. It's okay to reach the Eastern Conference Finals and lose, and you still have a successful year. But because you could be worse in a worse situation like Brooklyn is, like the Lakers are. And, my point is that some teams really get it. Some teams just really don't. And my God, this Brooklyn thing is just the best example of how you just don't get it.
So left field correspondent says Lakers were trying to build, but Luol Deng killed the cap first. That was a bad contract.
It was a bad contract. It made no sense when it happened, just like Bosgoff had made no sense when it happened either. Same deal was during the time when obviously the cap was lower. I don't think anybody can figure out why they gave Deng that money, because when he got traded from Chicago to Cleveland, and Cleveland gave up a pretty decent amount to get him, he was awful for Cleveland. And for some reason, the Lakers looked at that and said, we can do you one better. How about $70+ million for a guy who can't play? He can't play. He can't do anything anymore. He did kill their cap, and they had to pay for it for quite a while. I think they even tried to file an exception this offseason to get off of that money as the last year that they had to pay for it. You can't make the stuff up.
Yeah. I mean, and do you think part of the reason why though the contracts, Luol Deng in the NBA, when you make trades, the trade package does the trade package have to value the size of that player's contract for it to be deemed a good trade? Because remember, Chris Paul almost went to the Lakers way back, and then Stern nixed the trade because what I think it was New Orleans.
Because it would have made him too good.
Yeah, the trade would have been like it would have benefited the Lakers, but New Orleans was basically getting back peanuts to send Chris Paul to LA.
essentially getting Lamar Odom and a bunch of stuff. Like, not really. It wasn't very much, and that was nixed because at the time it would have made the Lakers like completely ridiculous at that point, and so because they would have Pau Gasol, Kobe, and Chris Paul. Like that was kind of why that trade got nixed at that point. But when it comes to Deng, he was not a trade. He was a free agent signing. He was in that summer of 2016 where there's so many Anthony Bennett All-Stars in there. It was unbelievable. And so, to me, I would say signing that hurt them it still hurt them until this offseason. And man, it was a backbreaker because he never played. He wasn't good. He was totally washed up. There was no reason for that deal at all. And it took a long time for them to finally be rid of it. But for now, they still got to figure things out. This Westbrook's the only piece that they can trade to improve, but they have to attach an asset with it. Otherwise, people don't want Westbrook. He can't shoot anymore. He is still really athletic, but he's not the Westbrook he used to be. He's not the ball handler he used to be. And, he is that veteran presence. And yes, he is a team leader. He's an alpha dog, but at the end of the day, he's about, what'd you say, 60% of what he used to be?
Yeah. Westbrook is definitely a head scratcher, man. I just, you're an NBA player. You work on your craft all the time, and to just drop off the way he did from the time he left New Orleans, where this dude was just pretty much, carrying the team. I mean, they had some guys around him, but he was triple double. He was still a good mid range shooter. He was still, he was, one of the better players all around in the whole league. And then he goes to LA, and man, it's like, what? How do you just fall off like that?
He was completely dominant in OKC. He was not very good in Houston. He was actually good for that one season in Washington.
Yeah, he was.
And of course, he's a disaster with the Lakers. It's just when you got your best three players, and none of them can shoot, eventually they're going to start pointing fingers at each other.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, as much as we like to see LeBron drive through the rim and dunk, and AD work in the post and do his thing, they eventually have to shoot. And yeah, LeBron James has improved as a shooter later on in his career. Of course he has. But he's not a good shooter. He's like, all right. Like Westbrook, just like even when he was Westbrook, he was still like an all right shooter. He wasn't great. So, but he was, like you said, he was better in the mid range. And now that they have no choice. If they want to even sniff competition this year, they have to trade him. They have no choice. They're essentially backed into a corner. There's nothing else they can do. They have nobody else on the roster that anybody would want.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, as a basketball fan, I would rather see Westbrook somewhere where he's utilized in the way that we've seen him be able to play basketball over these years. Because right now, and a lot of people don't like when I say this, but I'm gonna keep saying it because I feel like it has legs. Star players teamed up with LeBron James outside of Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, which we know, Dwayne Wade was really the true leader of that team. He just kind of handed LeBron James a title of, team leader, which we know it was freaking Dwayne Wade, but he was the glue to that to that locker room in that franchise. Outside of those dudes, there's not been any other like superstar players that he's teamed up with that got better after they joined him. And
Not many. I think Kevin Love was dominant in Minnesota, and he had to take a couple of years to adjust to playing with LeBron. I think Kyrie Irving was pretty successful for the most part, but I don't think LeBron made him better. It is a good point, and I think it is a really valid point that he hasn't made many of his superstar teammates better in his career. This is another example of that too. That look, we see Anthony Davis get worse.
Yeah, Davis is about. Davis is probably, compared to the Davis we saw in New Orleans prior to him, going to LA all those years in New Orleans when it was just him, and the ball was in his hands. Davis was dominant every game, dominant both ends of the court, double, unstoppable. Come to LA with LeBron and Davis. That's all we can say now. What happened? And I believe this is what I believe, and it's just my belief, but I believe that under LeBron James style offense, there's not enough ball movement. The ball is in his hands, and then he make a decision late in the shot clock to, get rid of the ball. Where when you playing with other guys that's on the same level, and I get it, LeBron James has been one of the best players in the league, but at this point in his career, Davis is on the same level as him as a basketball player, where he was, not anymore. A guy like Westbrook, if used correctly, could make LeBron James' game easier because he don't have to do as much. He doesn't have to handle the ball as much, and he could, you can really have a true point guard that's running the offense. Well, LeBron James wants to be the point guard. He wants to be the scorer. He wants to be the shooter. And I think when he plays with other star players that are, you're a star player, you got to have the ball in your hands too. You can't just be standing over here and wait for a pass with no time to do anything with it. I think that's just, a conflict of between his style opposed to, the way that these guys played when it was them and their teammates. Because AD made guys better in New Orleans. Westbrook made guys better in OKC in the year he was in Washington. He was the centerpiece to those teams. They were the centerpieces to those teams, and now they're not the centerpieces anymore. They don't. Number one, they're used to having the ball in their hands, so now they don't even know how to play without the ball in their hands. So it's just, when you look at we had this discussion all the time about what makes a player great. And when we look at the best players in the game and a lot of the greats in the games, no matter where they were at any point of their career, they made those teams and those players around them better. It didn't matter who they played with. Those players were better for playing around the Magics, the Birds, the Jordans, Shaq, Kobe. I mean, we go down the list and we can see with our clear eyes. We're old enough now to where we've seen a lot of great players come through the league and how they led teams and how they made teams better when they were with them, and I just never seen that with LeBron. I mean, yeah, we could say, oh, what did he have in Cleveland? Okay, we can. In Cleveland, it was different because the Eastern Conference, this is my argument, was trash. So yeah, you can get away with that in Cleveland. But my argument has always been, if you go out west, that won't make it in the Western Conference, because the Western Conference is a lot stronger than the East at this point. And what has happened outside of the bubble since he's been in the Laker uniform? That we got more than enough data. We got more than enough games and enough time to where we can clearly say, if LeBron had been in the Eastern Conference for the majority, I mean in the West, maybe we don't see the type of success we've seen from him, because in the West he hasn't been as successful. I know it's on the backside of his career, but people still want to put him in that conversation as the best player in the league. So guess what? The best player in the league has been trash since going to the Western Conference from a team concept. And the bubble is the bubble, but as we said before, there was teams that balled out in the bubble that normally don't ball out. And I think because everybody was in one spot, you took away the travel, you took away the home court advantage, and it pretty much made it a level playing field for every team in the bubble. There was no pressure. There was no fans in the stands. So they just went out there and they just played basketball. So it was a lot of elements that has a what's the word I'm looking for? That has impact on the way you play in the game when all the elements are at the disposal. Since outside the bubble, the Lakers has been trash as a team, as a team outside of the bubble. They've not been that good, and LeBron James is the centerpiece.
Yeah, they've been terrible.
They've been terrible.
They've been terrible, and they made terrible roster decisions. They've made terrible. They shouldn't have got rid of Frank Vogel. I do think Darvin Ham. So far, he's actually been impressive. I actually like Darvin Ham as a coach. I don't think he's bad at all. I think he's actually right for their situation. Like, he's a coach that I think demands a lot of respect, and I think that he can get. I think he can get across to some of these players. I actually like Darvin Ham, but what's going on is this front office is a disaster. And I've said on the show multiple times that I think that Kurt Rambis has a lot of say in the front office decisions with the Lakers. And
Kurt Rambis.
And don't even get me started on how bad Kurt Rambis is outside of when he was a player. He is unbelievably terrible judgment of talent. It's mind-boggling how bad he is at that. And he's the guy that's been Jeannie Buss's ear, because him and his wife are best friends with Jeannie Buss.
Yeah.
You can't make this up. And that's the big problem. When you have a guy who has zero eye of talent that is actually influencing decisions that you need to be making for your roster. It's stupid.
All right, so I got a buddy of mine he's a Lakers fan, and I got a few comments that I want to read off from him. And this was on, the whole Lakers. So his first comment was he agreed with us 100%. They need to get rid of Pelinka. He said next comment was, as a Lakers fan, they got rid of Zubac, Randall, Ball, Ingram, Hart. Who is Hart? I don't know.
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart. Okay. And Kyle Kuzma. He said, please don't talk about Luol Deng. Lakers been shooting themselves in the foot since then. Then he says, to the argument that I was making, opposed to, him and, star players or players getting better around him. He said only player that got better playing with LeBron was, Kyrie. Everybody else LeBron dragged down, and he said unless you were a 3-point spot shooter in the Cleveland years. So, and this guy here that's commenting, he's he's from Ohio. Uh, he's a Cleveland fan. He's been a Cleveland fan all his life. So he's grew up,
Well,
watching
he
LeBron.
should. Do you think he's listening right now?
Yeah, he's listening. He's listening right now.
Okay, perfect. All right. So he should be turning off the Lakers, and he should be watching the Cleveland Cavaliers because they are really good. They have an excellent starting five, which Darius Garland just came back tonight, and they have a good enough bench, right? Like Kevin Love is terrific. Isaac Okoro is terrible. I think Dean Wade's actually not bad. Dean Wade's actually not a bad player. I think he's pretty good, and as their 7th, 8th best guy. I don't think he's bad at all. Darius Garland's a star. He's not a superstar, but he's a star. He's like a Drew Holiday level type star. He's really good. Donovan Mitchell, superstar, close to superstar, he's like Devin Booker, right? Like Devin Booker is about to break into being a superstar, where Donovan Mitchell's close, I would say. Jarrett Allen is an all-star caliber center.
Yep.
Evan Mobley, only a second in Rookie of the Year voting. And I like Evan Mobley. So far, he hasn't been as good yet. He's so young. He doesn't have a good outside shot. He's an amazing shot blocker, and he's a good rebounder. Pretty good post defender, even though he's pretty rail thin. But I think he uses his body really well. If that guy gets an outside shot, he could be really deadly. This Cleveland team is really good. I think they're like the 3rd, 4th best team in the East, maybe even around that 3rd range, I would say. I think they're dynamite, and he should not even be caring about the Lakers or LeBron James at the moment.
Yeah.
He should be caring about how the Cavaliers are a terrific team. I don't know much about JB Bickerstaff, about how bad his decisions are or not as a coach yet, but I think they have the talent to make a lot of noise this year. Sure, they gave up picks and they gave up Markkanen and Sexton, but at the end of the day, Sexton wasn't the right player for that team. Markkanen, they gave up, I think, a 1st rounder and a small player for Markkanen from Chicago, because Chicago was so desperate to get off of him because they had just an idiot coach in Jim Boylan, another Coach Ramrod disciple, in my opinion, where at the end of the day, I think they gave up less than Minnesota gave up for Gobert. And Cleveland got a guy who they really actually needed. And they needed somebody else to take the ball out of Garland's hands and not have it all game long. And I watched that whole first half. I know they're in overtime right now, but Darius Garland is a real player, and he is somebody that you have to be concerned about. He can destroy you in a playoff series. I think where he was at coming into the league, because he was drafted by Cleveland, and where he is now is so much different. He's a completely different player than when he came into the league. And I think Darius Garland is an all-star, and I know he was last year, but I think this guy can keep being an all-star. He is a terrific talent.
Yeah, and talking about Cleveland, is Sexton, is he still on Cleveland?
No, he was in the Donovan Mitchell trade, so he's in Utah.
Oh, he's in Utah now. Okay.
He doesn't even start for Utah. I think Colin Sexton's future in the league isn't that great. I mean, if he actually can shoot really well and do more than just score, then have a longer future. But I just don't. I've never really been high on Colin Sexton on this show, and I still am not. He hasn't been as impressive as I would like to think. And I don't think Cleveland. I think Cleveland gave up. Those 3 picks are fine, but at the end of the day, I think they gave up just the right amount to get that almost superstar player that Donovan Mitchell is. But when I watch Darius Garland, he's very close to the talent that I think Trae Young is. Now, he's obviously taller than Trae Young, and he doesn't score as much as Trae Young does, but he runs the offense similar. He plays at a fast pace. He runs those pick and rolls pretty quickly. I think he's a terrific passer. He's a lot better of a passer than he was coming into the league. I just have a lot of great things to say about Darius Garland.
I didn't know Damon Stoudemire was on the Boston coaching staff.
I didn't know that either. Wasn't he the Arizona coach, or wasn't he the University of Arizona head coach for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, unless he got a doppelganger, I just saw a guy on the Boston bench that looked just like Damon Stoudemire, so I gotta go to Google because that looked just like him.
Probably had to hide his wife from Emma Udoka last season.
For real. Yeah, that is him. Damon Stoudemire, Boston Celtics assistant coach. He was the Pacific Tigers men's basketball coach from 2016 to 2021. So he just came over there last season.
Dang.
Maybe
amazing.
this season. I wonder if he can still hoop. He was pretty good.
I wanted to say the last thing before I'm gonna go is my point earlier when we talked about how when franchises get it and when franchises don't get it. But going into tonight in fantasy basketball, which of course I follow like a religion, the number 1 player going into tonight after the first 7 games of the year, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, I've seen.
The Oklahoma City Thunder got him in the Paul George deal.
Yep.
You can't make this up, man.
Yeah.
I think that Paul George deal is the gift that keeps on giving. I feel like Vegas really likes the Clippers, and I see executives talk, on Twitter about quotes that they're saying that the Clippers are so deep they're got to be the favorites in the West. I'm sorry, Kawhi has played 42 minutes in 7 games. He only played 2 games this year, and he is being held out. They have no return on his knee. He has been a year and a half since his partially torn MCL or partially torn ACL. It's been a year and a half, and he's not even playing very much yet.
Yeah,
I really fear for this Clippers team. It's another year where they just I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, and remember, Kawhi Leonard, when dealing with injuries, he tends to play the more cautious side, when returning from injuries. Because when he was in, San Antonio, he had that quad injury, and he basically missed the whole season with which they were saying was just a quad strain. He never had a surgery or anything, but he missed the whole season due to that. So Kawhi Leonard is always going to play the cautious role here when coming back from injuries.
We have seen if the Clippers can get, maybe to the second round, but they need Kawhi, right? Kawhi helped them get to the Western Conference Finals. I don't think he really played very much when they did make the Western Conference Finals. To me, this Clippers team, they have to have him in order to have a chance. Yeah, Norman Powell and Robert Covington, Sir John Wall later on in the year will be better. To me, it's just not enough. Paul George and a bunch of okay to decent players are good enough players. it doesn't get you there. And so they need him. And if they don't have him this year, it's another waste for everything that they gave up for Paul George and all that money tied up on their books out of Covington, Powell. They have Marcus Morris, Kennard on top of George and Kawhi. Their salary is unbelievably high, just like the Warriors, of course, are, and they don't have a lot to show for it.
Yeah,
and I think if they don't get that figured out this year with Kawhi, it's got to be a point where Steve Ballmer just says, I don't know what to do anymore with this team."
Did he already sign his extension, or he's still has some years left on that old contract?
Well, it's got to be coming up soon because I believe both of them are at the same time, and
so they're gonna have to make a decision.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to make a decision on Kawhi because with his injury history, and then also Paul George got some injury history as well. You can never seem to keep them two on the court together. So at some point, they may have to make a decision on one or the other, because if you tie up that kind of money in both of those guys, and one of them is always injured, or both are injured, you're gonna be in trouble, because you got a lot of money tied up in those two, and with that money tied up in those two, it hinders your ability to put a team together.
Well, they also tied up a lot of their money into guys like Norman Powell, Covington, Luke Kennard, and Marcus Morris. The Marcus Morris deal is baffling. Kennard is baffling. Covington is all right, and Norman Powell's okay. Like they spent a lot of money on a bunch of okay talent.
Yeah,
and that's where, to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, if you're going to be the Clippers and you have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, instead of spending that money on those four guys, that should be built as a third star to put in with them. But they elected not to, and yeah, they could be deep, but it doesn't get you far enough.
Yeah,
and that's what has been proven, and that's what will look like if Kawhi can't come back. If somehow Kawhi can't play a lot, or we see him after the All-Star break, but he's still sitting back to back and he's only playing 25 minutes a night, there's a big problem. And if they can't get that figured out, it is another year wasted that eventually these guys are going to be like, yeah, we've had bad luck, but you're not helping us with these guys like Morris and Kennard and Covington. They're not good enough that we want. And so we're going to leave.
Yeah.
That could happen. And all of a sudden, then the Clippers, where OKC owns their future, just like the Pelicans own the Lakers' future, and obviously the Rockets own the Nets' future. It could be one of those next situations that we can look at, going, oh man, they did everything and they screwed it up too. So it could be another one of those things too. Both LA teams, go figure.
Yeah, both making terrible organizational moves to win championships, and both outside of maybe the next few years, both of their futures are looking pretty pretty bleak, while the rest of the league is building teams for the long term. And you look at it, Golden State, what they've done. They had those down years where pretty much all their stars was injured, and they just said, okay, this is what it is. We're just gonna build our depth and draft well. So when we get those guys back, it pretty much opens a brand new window. And
it's another season where the Warriors should have just drafted LaMelo Ball over James Wiseman. It's another season where I see that James Wiseman is just, I don't know what the heck is wrong with him, but he's got to get off the Warriors.
What is going on with him though?
It's gonna look terrible. He's not playing a lot of minutes. He's terrible defensively. He can't shoot. He can't pass. He's a good rebounder. maybe an okay shot blocker, but like his athleticism is fine. But I mean, we're looking at year 3, and year 3 is a time where you should be a lot better than when you came into the league. And right now, there's no chance that he is better. You can't tell me right now that he is better than when he came into the league. He's not.
Wiseman was a one and done, right?
He was a one and done at Memphis.
Yeah.
And to me, and he didn't play many games for Memphis.
No, he didn't
at all.
He didn't play many at all.
So there's that as well. So to me, he's a disaster, and he's not an all-time draft bust or anything. And I'm not saying that he is, but for this Warriors team, for all the experts to say that, look out, that bench with Kuminga and Wiseman, I mean, they both have been awful this year. Like, really not good at all.
Well, Kuminga, last season, at least Kuminga gave them, something, where Wiseman just, he hadn't gave them anything. He wasn't healthy. We saw with Kuminga the ability to bring some quality, minutes to the floor. But Wiseman just been MIA.
For someone to say, Wiseman's only 21 or almost 22, and he was hurt last year. Okay, in your first 3 years, you're going to have normally one extended period of time where you're going to be hurt. But then after you are done being hurt, you should be a lot better.
Yeah.
Or you should have that time to get that much better. And he looks terrible. And I'm sorry, at year 3, you should at least be a lot better one way in one facet of the game than when you were before the injury or when you came into the league. And I will say it again. Steph, Clay, and LaMelo Ball. Really hard to beat that. Really hard to beat that. Just like Devin Booker and Luka Doncic. They chose DeAndre Ayton, and now he's pissed off at them. They gave him an extension because they matched, obviously, the offer sheet, but he's not happy in seeing it. Luka Doncic and Devin Booker on the same team. I'm sorry. They could have done it. But it just shows to me that they made the wrong decision. That Wiseman is not the right guy. He's not going to be that great, and he might have to go somewhere else to be good.
Yeah.
But right now, he's not good at all.
Yeah, no, he hasn't been, and as like you say, third year at some point, you spend a lot of time, whatever he's been doing, rehabbing, being held out for developmental purposes, whatever the case is, he should come back, a lot better. He has a lot of time to work on many different aspects of his game, and that just hasn't been happening. So don't know what he's doing on his spare time, but he's not developing the way he should have. And I know you're in the league now, you're making a lot of money, but at the same time, at what at what cost? Because not producing anything. So could another year or two on the college level helped him? Maybe so.
Well, I gotta call it. I gotta run.
Yep.
Thank you as always to have me on the show tonight. There was quite a bit to talk about, and I think we hit quite a bit of topics, and we did awesome. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Hey, always, man. And as I tell you with everybody, Rat Pack Sports Show, we are grateful to have my man Nicholas Lane on with us. schedule is what it is, but he's an asset. He's an important piece to the puzzle. And whenever you get time, brother, you always know the line is open for you to come on and talk some NBA. So appreciate you coming on, man, and take care, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll look forward to the next time I come on then.
All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Rat Pack Sports Show NBA insider Nicholas Lane. And listen, we just ran a 2-hour piece there. I mean, a whole segment, 2 straight hours, no commercials. No commercials. We can do that. We are our own advertisers, so um don't mind doing that. But anytime we get Nicholas Lane on, man, it's always a great segment. I'm gonna have his segment up on Podbean here in a little bit. I just have to go in and do some some editing and cut out some some pieces, but we're gonna have that available as well. So now what we're gonna do, it is 10:30, so we got about 30, 45 minutes left of the show, and we're gonna get into some NFL talk. Not sure if William Graves is still on. I think he is. Usually doing Nicholas Lane segment, William Graves goes rogue for a little minute, so Nicholas Lane could get in and do what he does. So then there he is. So he is still on with us. So now we're gonna go.
Oh yeah. You know what? When Nicholas Lane gets on, I become just like the rest of you listeners. I literally put my phone on mute. I sit there, I turn it up, and I just listen to him talk. Because just like you guys, I learn more and more about some of the players in the NBA by just listening to Nicholas Lane. So, he is probably one of the smartest basketball people out there.
Most definitely, man. And again, we are streaming on YouTube. We're on Twitch, and we do have our viewer on Twitch tuning in. So shout out to everybody on Twitch. We're streaming on Bucks Life. We're also streaming on the Rat Pack Sports Show Facebook page as well. So we're in a lot of different places. You can always go back and rewatch these streams. They're up there, and you can always go back and rewatch the streams, or you can go back and you can re-listen to the podcast. So, like I said, I'll put up Nicholas Lane segment here. At the end of the show, I just got to go in and cut up some edits, and that'll be going up there. But we're gonna get into some NBA. I mean, some NFL. Week. What are we in? Week 9. Week 9 now.
Yeah.
Week
8 or 9
of the league. We're officially at the halfway point of the season, 17-game season. Week 9 is the new halfway point, and surprises so far this season. And there's some not so much surprise, some shockers. From a team standpoint and from a player standpoint. Listen, before the season, we do our predictions. None of us predicted the Jets to be at 5-3. None of us, none of us predicted the Dallas Cowboys to be third in their division at second in the division at 6-2, but nobody predicted the Giants to be 6-2 and the Eagles to be 7-0. And I'm gonna be as real as I can be right now. The Giants and the Eagles are for real, man. I know a lot of people don't want to believe it. I mean, 7-0 is 7-0. And the way they're beating teams, you're plus 78. That is the biggest point differential in the whole league. Philadelphia at plus 76. Actually, no, they're second. The biggest point differential is Buffalo at plus 105. Buffalo is absolutely, dominant, but they're plus 78, and they're legit. And Jalen Hurts, at the end of last season, he made some comments about, uh, you know, taking everything in and working hard in the offseason and coming back, a better quarterback this season. And he's done that. He looks like the guy that they drafted out of, Oklahoma. And he was the Jalen Hurts we saw in Alabama prior to Tua coming in and taking his position. Hurts has been on fire. He's throwing the ball great, and that Eagles defense is nasty. And the pickup of AJ Brown in the offseason is probably going to go down as probably the best single pickup in the whole offseason. This last offseason. They're for real, and they're gonna be a tough out. They just are. And last weekend the Philadelphia Eagles doing one of AJ Brown touchdowns he scored. Their celebration. I didn't realize it when this happened because I really wasn't thinking it, but AJ Brown and a couple of his teammates did a celebration together in the end zone. I don't know how many people have ever watched this movie called Stump the Yard, but it's a sequence in that movie where the kids were introducing themselves to the dance team that they were you know dancing with. I can't explain it. I'm gonna try to find this video and I'm gonna post it in the Rat Pack Sports Show Facebook page. I did post it on my personal page, but Stump the Yard is probably one of my most favorite dance movies that's ever been made. And they did a scene from that and they had it down almost like they played the part in the movie. So if you guys ever get a chance, you could probably Google it and it'll probably pop right back up. Just type in AJ Brown, Stump the Yard, TD celebration. I bet you I'm finna type it in right now. I bet you it shows up. Stump the Yard TD. Yep. First video. And they got headlines and everything. Philadelphia Eagles breakout, Stump the Yard, TD, celebration, epic, elite. Man, it's just I'm finna post this link in the Rat Passport Show group. I don't think I have, but I will. And This man here, left field correspondent, is out of control, folks. I just read a comment. Oh my gosh, this man is out of control.
CC.
This man is out of control, man. I just read this. I just read his comment. I'm not gonna repeat.
CC Aiden, that's your bedtime.
Yeah, it probably is. No, it's not even close, dude. He's on the West Coast, so it's like 7:30 over there.
Yeah,
He's not even close to
well,
bedtime.
He's getting older and everything, so he might be one of those one of them grandpas that's in bed by like 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not repeating that, but I'm just gonna I'm just gonna post this link. Like I said I'm just gonna post this link, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me see where. Shoot, what is going on? Post. Hold on, what is going on? It's not letting me. Hold on, man. See, now this thing. No, I should be. Hold on. I guess I gotta switch. I guess I gotta switch my profile here, so I can post as. There it is. Man, what is going? All these updates that Facebook got going on, man. They always update some stuff, and I promise you, these updates don't really help. They just make things more cluttered. Just makes things more cluttered. So, but I'm posting the link right now. So, TD celebration is epic, and you can head over to the Rat Pack Sports Show, group, and that is the page. So that is on the page, and I'm gonna head over to the group. Also, I'm gonna drop this same link in the group so you guys could check it out. But this is, if you guys haven't seen this movie, I advise you, after you see this video clip, to go and find the movie Stomp the Yard. It's a pretty awesome movie, and it has a young Chris Brown was also in this movie when he was younger, when he first came on the scene, before people realized that this dude really can dance. Chris Brown is an amazing dancer, but there's a lot of with TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, reels and stories and all that. There's this famous dancer that's in that movie. First scene of the movie, when Knucklehead, which is the brother of Chris Brown character, and they were on this dance group, like this group of their best friends, and they went into a dance competition. They had a dance off, with this group of people, with another dance team. Well, I didn't realize before that point that, Chris Brown was as crazy of a dancer as he was, but the dude could get down. And there was a guy in one of the other groups that he danced with or danced against, and he's a famous dancer. If you guys ever paid attention or watched the crump dancing, this dude, his name is Tight Eyes. That's his name. But he's all over the place on social media dancing with many different people. He was in that movie. That's when I first discovered him. And ever since then, I've seen him in a lot of different things. Dancing, but that movie's awesome, bro. I enjoy watching that movie every time. Every time it's on, it's one of the movies where, when you watch it, you have to stop what you're doing and watch the movie. That's me with that, with Stomp the Yard. But the TD celebration was epic. So when you get a chance, head over to Rat Pack Sports group and check that out. But yeah, Philadelphia Eagles are for real. The Giants, listen, this might be one of the fastest turnarounds we've seen in recent memory from the New York Giants with what is their head coach? Dabble, I don't know the guy name.
Brian Daboll.
Yeah, Dabble or something. But this
Yeah.
is year number 2 for him. And last season, obviously, was a dumpster fire. We all saw it. But Jones has come back. He, has gotten better. And Saquon Barkley is looking like that dude they drafted out of Penn State. And Giants are for real. They're 6-2. NFC North, we always know it's going to come down between Minnesota and Green Bay. Minnesota right now is 6-1. That's not abnormal. Minnesota usually, during the regular season, pretty good in the regular season, but they can't put it together in the postseason. Green Bay is struggling. They have a wide receiver problem, and this wide receiver problem is bigger than Adams being gone because they lost some other guys. Scantling was a big time contributor for them also, and he left. And the guys that they brought in, they can't stay healthy. So every week Green Bay is shuffling, wide receivers every week. And Aaron Rodgers is, for what it's worth, I guess you could say he's struggling, but if you don't have any wideouts, as a quarterback, what can you do?
Man, it's more than okay. So this is time that we need to rip the Band-Aid off. Okay. And we got to talk about 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. We got to talk about Aaron Rodgers, and we got to talk about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, has Aaron Rodgers made some bad throws? Yes, he has. Every quarterback does it. Okay. Man, it's the reigning MVP of the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't put Aaron Rodgers in a position like you have. You pretty much blew his team apart. Look, it goes more than the wideouts.
Yeah.
You got an offensive line that is patched together with rookies and other people that haven't played together before. Man, come on. Your running game is
Oh, they can run the ball.
non-existent.
Well, last
Man,
night,
come on.
no, last Sunday night, they were able to run the ball. That wasn't a problem. They ran the ball,
First
but they
time,
couldn't throw it.
first time in how long? First time in how long?
I don't know, man. I mean, Green Bay got a great 1-2 punch with Jones and the other guy. I forget his name, but they got a great 1-2 punch.
But it goes, Debo. It goes back to the offensive line.
Yeah, the
If
offensive
you don't
line.
have an offensive.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay,
Jones has 5. Let me go look at the full stats. But rushing wise, they're ranked 15th. They rush for 100. I mean, this is a lot. I mean, 122 yards per game rushing is not a small number. I mean, like I said, they can run the ball, but the problem is they can't throw it. The offensive line has been in and out, but they've been able to run the ball. They just cannot throw the ball because Lazard, he's been hurt. If he's hurt, if he's not in, then Romeo Dobbs is a rookie, and you know he's up and down.
And who's that other receiver that they went out and got in free agency?
Sammy Watkins, trash. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
we knew Sammy
Okay.
Watkins wasn't gonna do much, and he's only played in 4
Right.
games. He's you know his
Okay.
whole career has been injury riddled his whole career, and now
Right, but look at where they put him. Look at where they put him.
well, to me, Watkins
they
don't
put-
even look like he has that speed anymore. He looks almost
Man.
like a slow
Right.
tight end. He almost looks like a tight
Yeah.
end. He's gained a little bit of weight. He's put on some weight. He doesn't run as fast as he did before. You know, so Watkins, for all his worth, he's not a real big you know, free agent signing.
No, but the reason behind my question, look at where they put him. Man, they tried to slide him into that number 1 receiver spot.
Yeah, he's not that dude. He's not.
Right. He is not. He is
No.
exactly.
He's
not that
dude.
guy.
And
So
you know, you got Randall Cobb, who, okay, listen, folks. And this also goes to Rodgers as well, because he fought to get, you know, Randall Cobb back, but Randall Cobb is not that guy anymore. So his first stint in Green Bay, he was awesome. You know, then he left Green Bay, he went to Dallas. He's not the same guy anymore. He's a veteran of that young receiver staff, but he's not the go-to guy that he once was. So you cannot depend on Randall Cobb to be your number 1 guy. They drafted Christian Watson to be the number 1 guy in the 2nd round of this year's draft, and this dude can't stay healthy. Like he just came back. He just came back from being injured. In the first play he gets the ball, what happens? He gets injured again.
he gets injured.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm watching the game, and it was, you know, it was a positive play. He caught the ball, ran it, and it was like a 3rd and long. And this is why certain, you know, the best receivers, they protect themselves. This dude ran into 3 Buffalo defenders like he was just finna bowling ball them and get this first down. You're 5 yards away from the sticks. You're not getting the first down.
Mhm.
Save yourself.
No.
Get your behind down on the ground. Do not dive head first into 3 defenders. And
Mhm.
I knew it the second that he did it. I said, "Oh, he got a concussion." Sure enough, he leaves the game, concussion. You just can't.
Well,
And you s- and
what do you expect when you got a receiver out there trying to play Superman?
yeah, you can't do that, man. And you see the expression on the head coach face. He's like, "Oh my gosh, not again." Aaron Rodgers, hey, you see his face and he's looking the same way. Like, come on, man. Like, bruh, you just came back. Get down, live for the next play so you can be healthy because
Well,
you're not doing anything from the tub. You're not productive and you're starting off your career
well,
very wrong. Like you're just injured every game.
he's not.
He's supposed to be that speed guy.
How do I want to put this? He's probably gonna be this contract probably gonna be his most lucrative
Listen, the
contract
kid is
that he
blazing.
has.
The kid is blazing fast. That's not even a question. Like he is fast. But that speed
Okay,
don't mean nothing for Aaron Rodgers and the
exactly.
Packers if you can't stay on the field and be that number one guy that you need to be for the team.
No, and see, and that's just it, Devo. He he's one of those kamikaze receivers, and that's gonna cut.
Hey, that's exactly that's exactly what it looked like too. Yeah, that play was
Yeah,
like a kamikaze move. Well, I can't get it, but I'm finna put my head down and I'm just finna dive right in. And that's exactly what he did.
mhm.
And I want to say Christian Watson 40 was maybe like a low 4.3. Like the Duke can fly.
Oh, he
But yeah,
he can
4.3,
fly.
yeah,
And he can
4.36.
run.
Oh, look at that. He's from
But
Tampa. Oh,
he's from where?
he went to school here in Tampa.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't. 38-inch vertical, uh,
Mm-hmm.
13.6 broad jump. Dude is an athlete, but you gotta be on the field, man. Gotta be on the field. So
Well, like I said, if he doesn't stop his foolishness, this is about going to be his only contract. I mean, after this contract, they may resign him, but if he keeps on getting hurt or whatever,
he'll be Sammy
he's
Watkins.
gonna wind up being one of them journeyman receivers.
He'll be Sammy Watkins, dude. Sammy
Yep.
Watkins was an excellent receiver in college. He was drafted out of Clemson. Speed, just massive speed, just almost too much speed. And I think he was a 4.3. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull up his draft profile. Let's see. Yeah, he was a 4.3. 4.4, no, 4.43. But again, injuries kind of, plagued his whole career from day one. He's not played. Actually, in 2014, he played a full season. let's see, 2000. Yeah, he played 16 games in 2014. He played 13 games in 2015, 2016, half a season. Played 14, 15 games in 2017. He was on the Rams. I don't remember that.
He was on the Rams for like a hot second.
3 years in Kansas City, where it's saying he played 10, 14, and 10. But dude, I promise you, it didn't feel like he played that many games. And then last season in Baltimore, he played 13 games. So, I mean, based on his profile here, it says he's played in a bunch of games, but it don't feel like it, bro. It feel like to me, every dude is always hurt. That's what it feels like for me.
Well, because I mean, he does get hurt a lot, and everything, and yeah, okay. So the games that you just named rattled off, yeah, that's more games than I expected him to be in. But yet once again, how okay, so he played in the games, but how effective was he in those games?
Not very effective.
Because
I mean, he was in the
Okay.
games, but he wasn't that effective. Ladies and gentlemen, after paying out all his fines that he owed to the Rat Pack, for the multiple weeks no showing, he finally decided that he was just going to show up not to get signed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Rat Pack Sports Show NFL guru, Mr. Boss Hog, Sean Naylor, on the line with us. What's going on, man?
What's up, my boy?
What's up, man?
Long time no speak, man.
What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much, man. Just talking some, NFL and talking about your NFC East, bro. I didn't realize that division was gonna be so hard this season, but
Let's talk about one team particular in the NFC East.
You want to talk about your team?
Yeah, let's roll. Let's roll a little. Let's roll a little bit. I mean, y'all ain't heard from the guru in a little while, and
Hey, first of all, before I know you finna go on a rant. It's been a while, but I just want to remind you, try to keep it clean. Boss Hall has a lot of Boss Hall has a lot of pent up anger. He has a lot of pent up anger because it is a firestorm going on in Washington with the Commanders right now.
So first of all, I need to say, Carson Wentz, go break your other hand.
Oh my God.
Second, I need to say, Carson Wentz, go find another team because this is no longer your team. This is Taylor Heinicke's team. And I swear to you fellas, I swear, up and down, my hand on the Bible, praise Jesus.
Uh-oh.
If Carson Wentz returns as the starting quarterback in 2 weeks when his finger is quote unquote healed,
you gonna lose it?
You will be finding a way to bail me out because I will be in Ron Rivera's office do it. I'll be breaking Carson Wentz's other hand just so he can't come back.
Yeah, I just want to see how you gonna get in the. I just want to see how you gonna get
I'll
in the
find a way. I'll
facility.
put a uniform on or something. I'll find a way. I'll find a way to get in Ron's office.
Yeah,
I'll climb through the air ducts. I'll do. I mean,
we'll see. He'll
They-
climb
they-
through the air ducts.
I'll find a way. But let's see.
Oh,
and
boy.
you know, they say that dreams can come true. Well, I had a dream, and I'm not talking about Martin Luther King. I had a dream. The other night that this shit came true, excuse my language, that Dan Snyder finally sold the Redskins. And what came true today? He hired Bank of America to sell the Washington organization. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the case is rested. Washington will return to dominance as soon as the Snyder name is taken off the lease. We will no longer have to bear the 26 quarterbacks since 2000.
Whew, my gosh,
We will no longer have to
it's
bear
worse than Cleveland.
3 playoff. We will, yeah, just like Cleveland. How Cleveland of us.
Yeah,
We will. We will no longer have to bear the fact that we've only been to 3 playoff games since Dan Snyder bought the team. Ladies and gentlemen, the Washington organization will once again rise to the top. You can call them the Redskins. You can call them the football team. You can call them the Commanders. You can call them the butt wipes. I don't give a rat's ass what you call them. They will dominate again because Dan Snyder is no longer going to have his name on this team.
Okay, so
Oh wow!
all right,
So,
Boss Hog says
so
how many quarterbacks you said since 2000?
26.
26.
Like starting quarterbacks?
It was, dude. It
Yes.
was no, just 26 quarterbacks.
Oh, okay. I'm about
Taylor
to-
Heineke. So Taylor Heineke has the longest starting tenure in the last 3 years, 18 games.
You know, I actually like Heineke behind center. And this okay, so Washington made a mistake because somebody doesn't know how to evaluate the quarterback position over there. Because what I saw last season in Heineke was a quarterback that wasn't flashy. He didn't come in with the big name, but the guy was able to rally the team. He made all the plays when needed. He made all the, he was a good decision maker, and he has that combination of the ability to throw a good pass, but also if he got in trouble, he could get away from pressure and do some things on his feet. So, obviously the season didn't go the way the staff wanted to, but the move to bring in Wentz was from the beginning, I thought, a bad move because Heineke to me deserved to return this season as the number one guy. Based on everything that I've seen, from last season and what he did against some pretty good competition. The guy proved that he he could play the quarterback position in the league. So you go out and you get Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz had, for what it's worth, he's not a bad quarterback. So that's not what I'm saying. But at this stage, Wentz is not giving you any more than what Heineke, even if you compare Carson Wentz numbers from Indy to what Heineke did during that same amount of time in Washington, Heineke was more effective with less around him. Carson Wentz had an offensive line. He had the best running back in football behind him, a really good offensive coordinator, and they still traded him. So I think the head coach over there in Washington, it's got to realize that maybe he made a mistake, and when Wentz get back, I would keep Heineke at quarterback. That's what I would do, but I'm not the head coach. So, and ladies and gentlemen, we got another one on the line. Left field correspondent Carlton Cook. What's going on, man?
Son, I got the bail money, dog. I got the bail money. You just need to do what you need to do. I got the bail money. That's all I can tell you. That's the only reason I called. I had to run out of the hospital just to get that out of my system. Sean, I have the bail money.
Hey, we cannot be making threats on the air.
You will be released within 24 hours. I have the bail money. I love y'all. I'm going back to work. I love y'all. William, I love you. Nikki Buckets, I love you.
You too, brother.
Debo, I love you.
Love you, brother.
Sean, I love you. I have the bail money right now.
I appreciate it, dog. I appreciate it.
Do it.
This
Bro,
man,
I'm telling you, I am telling you, I will be. It is so. We're 4-4 right now. We're 500. We're playing decent football right now. Here's the thing: of 8 games this year, I will tell you, I have watched 3 football games out of 8.
what?
Of the Washington
No,
Commanders.
man. No, not you, bro. Not you.
Yes,
They done
yes,
took
bro,
that much. They
because
done took the fire out of you that bad?
I could not. I'm sitting there watching. I start watching every game. I'm sitting there, and the football got so bad. The play got so bad. I swear to God, there's Pop Warner teams that could have went out there and beat the Commanders. I mean, the quarterback play itself was horrendous. I've seen women's flag football teams that are better than Carson Wentz. I've seen junior high football teams that are better than Carson Wentz. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I wanted Carson Wentz to be resurrected. I thought, all right, let's give him a chance. I just saw a shooting star. Hell yeah. These dreams are coming true. I just saw a shooting star. That means Dan Snyder sells the damn thing. Woo! Let's go. Anyway.
My boy in the car, he sound like Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you last, baby. Woo!
You last, baby. Woo! Anyways, I wanted Carson Wentz to be resurrected. I wanted the year that the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, Carson Wentz won 11 games. I wanted that Carson Wentz for sure. That Carson Wentz doesn't exist anymore, ladies and gentlemen. That Carson Wentz does not exist anymore.
What did I tell you, Boss Hog?
Okay, I'll give it to you. Now, when you talk about Carson Wentz, you got to go find the kitty cat emoji because he is a straight capital P.
Can I interject real quick? William, I have to apologize. William, I have to apologize to you as well because Jesus Christ, boy, that boy looking terrible. Wentz is looking terrible, dog.
Yeah, Wentz is garbage. I'm pulling up.
You know what? So here, man, I'm trying to tell you guys, and you all don't want to listen to me.
We only listen to you because.
Normally we don't.
Boy, here's the thing. I got to see him person.
Debo.
Yeah.
Debo, make sure you remember this year. William is on a roll. I don't know what the hell.
Hey,
22 is a trip.
he got to play the lotto.
Yeah,
right.
I put my tickets in.
Man, boy, let me tell you what. The day that I win the lottery, every last one of you all is getting a message saying, get on a plane, get to Hawaii. Don't worry about the price. Empty out your bank account and all that. Because it's going to be restocked within a couple of hours. Because I will promise you guys this. I will give you guys $7 million apiece.
Well, why you not already playing then, dude?
I would drive.
This fool said
I would drive to Hawaii. Underwater.
This man about to go out and get. This man about to go out and get one of them damn car boats. Well, we're gonna be out there on the beach. All of a sudden, you're gonna hear a horn honking. It's gonna be close, and he's gonna be like, "See, I told you I'd make it."
Hey, he on the West Coast already, so it's just about a short drive.
Oh man, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, he can do it.
What's the movie that the two women drove off the cliff?
Oh, Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, Thelma and Louise. I'll be driving like that. I'll be driving like that.
Oh man. But boys, seriously, I got to see him play. And man, I wasn't impressed. I was not impressed. He is very timid back there behind center. And that's why when that trade happened, I said I could see it. And Boss Hog, I did not want to dash your hopes and dreams like that. But that's why I said, look, I don't think it's that good of a trade. And mark my words, if he gets released from Washington, he will not be a regular starting quarterback in the NFL again. He may start for injured starting quarterbacks, but he will not be the guy.
You may be correct on that. At this point, in his career,
he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
He
I
doesn't
mean,
deserve it.
you got to earn it.
He right now in Washington, he has great weapons. He has a running back, a few of them. He got Scary Terry. He got receivers.
Yeah.
That's all in his mind, bro. That's in his mind. He is so frazzled. He's done.
He mentally has not recovered from getting injured. I'm saying that right now.
Oh, you mean the knee injury back in his rookie? What is that? His
Yeah.
second year, rookie year?
Yeah, it was either his second or third year. It was whatever. He has not recovered from that, guys.
Trying to compensate.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? Anybody that has played any type of organized sport, Debo and Carlton, I know you both have played football. Sean, I know that. Did you play football in high school?
Yeah, he was a water boy. Now let me stop.
Man.
Bobby Boucher.
Man.
Yeah.
Man. Listen to that. Carlton,
He
go.
was the defensive coach.
Yeah.
He can't even talk.
While I'm thinking about it, Derek, I got to apologize to you. You were entirely correct as to the firing of those Auburn coaches. You was 100% correct.
Oh, the AD got rid of him?
Yep. His first day there, he went in there and fired the rest of the coaches.
Dang. But so they just did a complete house clean.
Just about. A guy, as Buccaneer fans, especially me being a Buccaneer and Auburn fan, the interim head coach, Cadillac Williams, we know him really well, but he also has another guy that we're actually familiar with on his coaching staff, Ike Hilliard. Is actually on his coaching staff right now.
Receivers coach?
Receivers coach and I want to say like offensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, boy.
So,
Ike Hilliard was
He's a good route runner.
yeah, I was just about to say, boy, Ike Hilliard was he was a beast on the routes.
Well, there is speculation that, it's not going to surprise me if he actually isn't in the running, but a lot of people seem to think that these last 4 games for Auburn are going to be kind of like Cadillac Williams' audition for the head coaching job. Do I necessarily think he'll get it? Unfortunately, no. But if he did get it, I cannot say that I would be upset.
No, I don't think that'll be a you know, I mean, he's been on the staff already, so it's not like he, just got handed the position. I mean, but he is a fairly young coach, so that would be the only thing there. You want to make sure if you do decide to go that route and have him there long term as your coach, you want to make sure you surround him with some quality veteran coaches, so he'll have every chance to be successful. Don't let him pick his own coaching staff. I mean, he can have a say in the coaches, but he's so young. You don't have those, connections to be able to pick you a quality coaching staff unless you just run out there and you just go and get a whole bunch of former players that, I mean, you can do that. I mean, you look at what Deion has done at Jackson State. I know he's a lot older, but Deion Sanders pretty much. You look at his staff, and it's a lot of ex-NFL guys on that staff over there.
Well,
And
there is
who doesn't want to
a
coach
date.
Who doesn't want to play for Coach Prime, bro? That's name recognition, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this right now. Coach Prime is one of Auburn's top targets for the head coaching job.
I like what he's doing over in Jackson State, man. So unless it's like a top quality job, I would hate to see him leave Jackson State. I really would.
Right.
I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with you guys. Debo, I commented on that video that you shared when he was talking in the locker room, and I said I would love to have him on as the head coach of Auburn.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The Auburn alumni does not want to give complete control to the head coach. They don't want to do it.
Well, that's
And
probably
I'm
not.
going to tell you this right. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. That is what is going to.
That's what it's going to take to get him.
That's what's going to make Coach Prime look. I would say things, but no things. Do you realize that before Brian Harsin was hired, that Kirby Smart, the head coach of Georgia, was ready to sign to be the head coach of Auburn, but he wanted complete control of the football team, and the alumni said no?
Well, seems like that's
I don't know.
bad move for them.
This is what needs to happen. I don't know who the Auburn president is there now, but he needs to tell them to back the hell off.
You better give him a call, William.
He can't do nothing.
No. You don't want me to give them a call because my words will not be nice.
They'll hang up on
They
you.
will not be friendly. They're gonna be somewhere in the realm of what Sean Naylor would do to Ron Rivera if he starts Carson Wentz again. I am telling you this
I
now.
got the bail money, dog.
Don't listen to Carton. Don't listen to Carton, bro. You don't want to be on the FBI's most wanted list. You mess around and go you mess around and go into Washington if you think with that nonsense. Yeah, we gonna see your big head behind on the news.
No, because
Hey,
here's
it
the
ain't gonna
thing.
be.
Unlike everybody else,
Where's my bail
being in
money?
the military, being in the military, I know where all the non-extradition countries are.
That's what he's gonna have a sign holding up in his mugshot. His sign hold up in his mugshot. Where's my bail money?
Right.
But
He
anyway,
gonna have a black eye. He gonna have a black eye talking about you said you was gonna have my bail.
Yeah. That's what it's gonna be. You better not do that. It's a bad idea.
Carlton's cell phone gonna ring. It's gonna be like, you have a collect call from such and such county jail.
Then
Do you wish to accept or deny? Carlton's gonna be like, who is it? William? Graves. I don't know this guy.
Yeah.
Click.
Just hang the phone up. I don't know this guy.
But, oh, man. But,
Blow his
fella,
phone up.
But in all seriousness, getting back to Carson Wentz, I did not want to be right about him. I did not want to be right about him. I wanted to be
I
wrong.
did not.
But
I wanted him to thrive, bro. It's just, but again, your coach matters.
Yeah.
Your coach matters, but you have to do your part too. So, yeah.
well, again, you ain't wrong. You are not wrong. But while I got you both on the phone, let's talk Buccaneer football.
Oh, why?
Because I actually found out that Jason Light during the trade during the trade deadline he actually pulled off a trade.
No, what'd he do?
He traded.
Pick it up. Okay.
He traded his can of Pepsi for a can of Dr. Pepper.
It's the same thing, huh?
We don't have any money to do anything.
No.
We broke.
Yeah, dead broke.
Right, Devo?
Dead broke.
We can't do anything. The bad picks he got, like Julio. I told y'all about Julio. I told y'all about that Julio.
Wait, hold on. Who else was talking about Julio Jones? And I was told, oh no, he's a prime receiver. He's a veteran receiver. Blah 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 blah. That fool ain't been on the field but for a handful of games. Don't want to hear it. But all seriousness, I am glad that Jason Light brought Tyler Johnson back to the Bucs. He actually corrected one of his mistakes.
Man, that's not a mistake. That dude didn't even play for the Texans, and they need him.
You know what?
Tyler Johnson.
I'll say it once and I'll say it again. I'd rather see Tyler Johnson on the field than Julio Jones.
Tyler Johnson listen. You can say everything you want about
Julio.
Julio.
What has Julio done?
No.
What has Julio done? What has he done?
I can go.
What has he done?
Okay. Julio Jones gonna be a Hall of Fame wide receiver, so that's what he's done. I mean.
Oh, okay. That's what he did in the past. What have you done for me lately?
But this is the thing. What you
he's done it about as much as Tyler Johnson did it in Tampa.
But in Tampa. But this is the thing. With Julio lined up on the field, you still have some type of threat with Julio on the field. You know what he is capable of doing.
That's what he lined up on the field. How many times he been on the field this year?
Bruh, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna convince me. You're not gonna convince me.
It especially matters when we only won 3 games all year, and we got arguably the best quarterback in the NFL, and we sitting there and we can't even lead our own little trash ass dumpster fire division.
Well, you can
There's something wrong with that.
You can have
There's
Julio.
something wrong.
You can have Julio Jones on the field, and it still ain't gonna matter because the left side of the offensive line is garbage, and that's the quarterback blind side. So it don't matter.
Wait, but we want to sit there and we want to pay that trash ass left tackle. We want to pay him $18 million a year, so he can sit there and be a mediocre tackle.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Oh, but we want to say here, oh, we don't have no money. Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you went and freaking gave a contract to the damn Dollar Tree blind side, because that's exactly what Donovan Smith has been before Tom Brady got there. Don't act like
That's
you all
what
got
he
amnesia.
That's what he was. And even
Okay.
though Tom Brady was here, I was still this way I'm gonna say us at the Rat Pack, we were still pointing out how trash Donovan Smith was, even though Brady was throwing 40 touchdowns a year. We were scoring 35 points a game. And we smart enough to understand it's only because of how fast Brady get rid of the ball that Donovan Smith even looks good.
Exactly.
So now you got a trash guard playing next to him. He's a trash tackle. It's a wrap, dude. There's nobody there to cover him anymore. There's nobody there to cover him. So now he's on his own. And this offense, I don't care what anybody say, this offense has been changed from the way it was when Bruce Arians was calling the offense. This is not the same. This is not the same offense, bro.
You got old fiddle boy over there sitting there calling some freaking Madden plays that he get it off of his PlayStation.
Yeah, this is not the same offense. Like we're not even utilizing. Okay, I get it. We had some injuries at receiver, but the last maybe 2 or 3 games we've been fairly healthy. Julio was healthy. He played last game, but rarely did I see any 3 or 4 wide receiver formations to put all of them on the field at the same time. You got Evans off the field, Julio on, Godwin's off the field, Julio on, or Julio on, Evans off, Godwin off the field, Scotty Miller in the game, double tight end formations. Man, bump all that. Bump all that. I don't want to see no more double tight ends. We don't have one tight end. So why you running double tight in the passing formation? It makes no sense to even do that. Them dudes not even a threat to even catch the ball. And then you got 2. I'm gonna just say you got a Hall of Fame receiver in Julio that still got some left in the tank. You got Evans and you got Godwin, and you would not throw them. You would not just go and say, okay, Brady, we don't have an offensive line. We're gonna go shotgun, 3 wide, 4 wide, and we just gonna spread the field, get the ball out your hands fast. So forget the 3-step, forget the 5-step drops, forget the 7-step drops. You don't have a left tackle, you don't have a left guard. So you don't have time to take the snap from under center and do a 7-step drop to throw the ball downfield. You have to be in the shotgun. You have to be in the 3 or 4 wide receiver formation to stretch out the defense. You can't be in the freaking 1-2 receiver double tight formation where you bunched up. That ain't gonna do anything.
Now I want to point out something about what you just said, Derek. Had we went with that in Pittsburgh, we would have won that game.
Yeah, because when we needed it, they went right down. They went right downfield when they went 3-4 wide receivers, and they went right downfield and scored a touchdown. That was the only time in the game they did that.
Pittsburgh went down to their third string defensive back.
Yeah, we should have lit them up.
Worst defensive back set. Okay, and what did Byron Leftwich call?
He wanted to run the ball.
Run play.
Let's see how many times we ran the ball about 25 times in Pittsburgh. Let me see. I'm finna look right now.
Running the ball is important. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, when you can run the ball.
When you have a weakness on a defense, you expose that weakness.
Okay, Leonard
We
Fournette.
should have won that game.
21 carries, 63 yards. That was the
So about 3 yards a carry. Less than that.
yeah, 2.9.
2 point something.
We had 3 yards, yeah.
Okay. So 3 yards a carry. And yet they have one of the worst defensive backs. They have one of the best in that game. all of their starters were hurt. But yeah,
Their
we go
defense
into
is
attack.
bad.
Yeah, the defense was terrible that game too. How you get?
Their defense, period, is bad.
Yeah.
They lost T.J. Watt.
Yep.
Their defensive line is in shambles.
Yeah. All injuries.
Their-
Just injury. They got
Their
worse injuries than we
secondary
do.
is gone. And we couldn't
Yep.
beat a high-powered team that has what people say is the
Hey,
GOAT.
Kenny.
We can't figure out to blow them out.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
lost.
listen.
Boys, to put this in perspective, we lost to Mitch Trubisky.
I know. And he got out there and looked like the next coming of Big Ben.
Yes, he did. He lit us up.
Nine.
And you know what? And that's another thing I want to talk about. Why in the world are we set up for two different defenses? Explain that to me.
Hold on. What you mean two different
Explain that.
defenses?
Look at our front. We are set up for an elite defensive back or an elite defensive secondary on our front end of the defense. Our defensive secondary is set up for an elite front seven. Explain that to me. You can't have it both ways. Explain that to me. Why in the world are we playing a defensive secondary like we got a pass rush?
Dude, I don't know.
We don't have a pass rush.
No, we don't.
Why on the front seven are we set up like we got a freaking shutdown defensive secondary? We don't got that. On a good day, they are a good defensive secondary. They ain't elite.
No.
They are not. They are not elite. And what is it with them playing off of the receivers like all the time in the world? Explain that to me because I want to know.
Bruh, I can't explain it. I've been scratching my head too. So, and I left field correspondent. Hey, we can't listen. Everything about this team, especially
Go back and look at the Ravens game, Debo. Go back and look at that Ravens game. Go look at where that defensive secondary is positioned at.
Oh, it's terrible. Listen, Warren Sapp. I don't know if y'all seen the video of Warren Sapp. He broke down some of the defensive plays from the Ravens game, and Warren Sapp, Hall of Fame player. Forever, you can think what you want about Warren Sapp personally, but this dude know football. One of the best to ever do it.
On the field, he is one of the best.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
So when that man is
Hands
talking
down.
football, bruh, there ain't many out there smarter than him.
Yeah.
So when he
Shut up, let him talk.
let him talk, and when he is breaking down film and he is scratching his head on the defensive alignments, the defensive lack of containment in the run game, the defensive lack of pursuit, chasing plays down. Devin White.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This will.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you brought him up. Why are you all so surprised?
Oh, I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Why are you all surprised? Devin White is who he is. Why are you surprised?
Hey, you know why? Because a lot of people fell in love with the splash plays, and they didn't pay attention to what was happening in between the splash plays, where he was literally lost on the field. Like David was covering up for him a lot of the times. You had Sue.
Now here's the thing, and this is something I'm going to point out. Look at the defense he was playing in at LSU. public as the defense that he's playing in now.
They were
They're two completely different defenses.
LSU played a
They
4-3.
drafted him. They drafted him, trying to put him into a way different defense than what he was playing in at LSU. Why would you draft somebody like that? Why? Devin White is not built
No.
to play in this type of defense. So
No.
why the hell would you draft him?
What should have happened? This what should have happened. Over the
Jason White should have got fired like 3 years ago.
over the history of the NFL, right? We've watched a lot of teams run the 3-4. One constant in the 3-4 up the middle. You got to be stout in the run game.
Yes.
Because it's a gap controlled defense. Everybody has a gap responsibility.
Right.
The nose guards,
And you're not wrong.
the defensive tackles, and then you have your edge rusher. Well, White is a middle linebacker, and he's not playing this defense like a middle linebacker. He's playing this defense like he's an outside linebacker. He's not a thumper.
Exactly.
Ray Lewis.
That's the
Right.
issue.
Ray Lewis was a thumper. You look back in the days of Pittsburgh Steelers had Kevin Green, Greg Lloyd, LaVon Kirkland.
Yeah.
Them dudes was big. They could move, they could run the length of the field, but they were stompers. When the run play was called, they were leveling the fullback in the backfield. The back wasn't even getting a chance to get to the line of scrimmage. White is sitting there. Hold on. White is sitting there doing jumping jacks, waiting for the offensive lineman to come to him and engage. You've already lost. Because the offensive lineman already got leverage and he already got momentum. You're too small.
Okay.
You're not built like that. You're not gonna just
Yes.
Okay,
He's a
but this
small
is
linebacker.
what I want to point out. Well, this is what I want to point out. And I'm serious about this. Go YouTube it, whatever. But look at what they were having him do at LSU. They weren't having him go and engage. They were having him drop back into coverage.
listen.
LSU had stars.
Yeah, all around them,
everywhere.
everywhere.
They
Yeah,
did.
yes,
They
they
didn't
did.
need him to do anything
Nope.
but contain his little injury.
Listen, on draft night,
Now he's in a situation.
Where he
that
actually
he has
where
to.
he has to
be
do
a star.
something.
well,
And he can't do it.
this is the
He
thing.
cannot
He's
do
not
it.
built for that.
He's not built. He's not built for it. Like,
That is exactly what I
He's a
said.
running back.
Yeah.
He's a running back. He was a running back.
he's good
And
at he's good at
He was
blitzing.
never built for that.
He's good at blitzing because he can use his speed. But other than
Right,
that,
that's it.
he's
But
not.
here's the thing,
He
Evo. Wait,
overshoots the play.
Yep. He jumps out
He
of
like Quan. He basically Quan Alexander. Just Quan is
in
always
the middle.
they're the same player.
yeah.
They're the same player. And actually,
Yeah, but
Quan,
No, Quan
Quan is a
Alexander,
little bit better.
yeah, his run support was better than
Yeah.
White. His run
Right.
support was better.
White, yes.
but what you guys are saying is the exact point I'm trying to make. He is not built for this. When he was in
No, he's
college, like you said, he had all these people behind him. So what did they do? They had him drop back into coverage. They had him go after the running back. What did he do? He just waited for the running back to come to him. Okay, now that he is in Tampa, now that they are relying on him to do stuff,
No, it's not
he's
that.
having to learn
It's not that they're relying on him to do stuff. They're just asking him to play the position. That's it.
But
Right. They're asking him to play the position that he does not know how to play.
Thank you, CC. Thank you. Because that is exactly it. You are asking him to do something that he has not
Listen,
done before.
when he was
He
at
is you might as well put him into a completely new position because that's exactly what this is to him.
yeah, when
So
he,
why is everybody acting surprised that he is doing what he is doing?
because
Please answer that.
they weren't paying attention. That's why. They was just looking at
Oh, they
him.
were paying attention
How
to
can
the wrong thing.
They was just
We
looking
need
at
to be playing the
how are you
forestry.
how are you
We need
not
to be
paying
playing the
attention?
forestry, bro.
because we got a fan base that ooh and ah over splash plays. That's why. We got a fan
Did you
base.
see that hit?
Did you see the hit?
Shoot,
Oh
we
my
lost by
gosh.
30, but
He
we saw that
He
hit.
is awesome. He made this sack. He got this interception. Bro, the dude
Okay,
has one interception in 3 years. Okay.
Exactly.
okay.
Name me the last
but his
time
be-
he
his
got a
best year-
tackle for a loss.
His best year, arguably, was the year that
The
I'm
Super
pretty.
Bowl.
Now,
That was his
correct me
rookie
if I'm
year.
wrong, but yes, was the year that we won the Super Bowl. Look at our front defensive line. Look at who was on
Right,
that
we
defensive
didn't-
line.
Not only that,
We did not need him.
but
We
again,
did not him. We not need him to play a position that was a pivotal
yeah,
because we
He
got lucky
exactly.
that year.
He was in a support position. That is what he is made for. That is what he was taught at LSU. You play support.
well,
He is not that guy that all these people think that he is. That
this
he's not
well,
that guy.
this the thing. This the thing here, man. When you're a middle linebacker, there's things that you do. Like all great middle linebackers
Right.
do all of this excellent. Their read and react in the run game is second to none.
Right.
They blow up plays in the backfield, not 5 yards after the fact. They're not chasing.
Right.
They're not chasing down plays. They're blowing the plays up. If you can't make the tackle, you better blow this hole up so this dude don't even have nowhere to run. He doesn't
Right.
do that either. Number two,
Okay,
he doesn't
but
do well.
again, that goes back to what you're being taught.
But that's not him. Forget being taught. You're in the pros now. The time for teaching is over with. You should already know this stuff. You should already know this
Right.
stuff. So
You can't blame that on him. You got to blame that on the LSU coaching staff.
no, you blame that on the Buccaneers for drafting him to play out of position. That's what you do. Like
Exactly what I said at the beginning of this rant.
the dude, if you look at his LSU tape, a lot of his highlights on draft night was him chasing plays down 10, 15 yards, 20 yards downfield. He didn't have any highlights of him knocking a joker out in the backfield.
Right.
You know, the thumper.
Hey,
When
boys,
I
I
say-
got to run.
Okay. Yeah, but when I say a thumper, I'm talking about the guys that I just named. Like you got to blow plays up in the backfield. Just because you can't make the tackle, that doesn't mean nothing. Do your job, get in there, blow that play up, clog that hole. Don't let the offensive
Right.
lineman come off the freaking fire off the line and get to you and let him put your hands on him. You don't even know how to get the dude off of you. Like were you
Exactly.
not taught how to shed block? Were you not taught this stuff, man?
That's the bad thing about going to a big school that has talent everywhere. If you just go on natural talent, you're not learning anything.
Nope.
Yeah. In like Brian Urlacher. Brian Urlacher,
Dude, he was a
was-
safety. He was a safety in college
thank you. Right.
and made it to
So,
the league.
when
They
he
moved
dropped-
him to the middle, and this dude is he's a Hall of Famer now. Middle linebacker.
Right. But he had two guys on both sides. They were often hurt, and he willed that defense by himself.
Yeah.
Brian Urlacher was getting interceptions. He was blowing teams up off the line on the back in the backfield.
Yep.
He was everywhere. Devin White is not. He doesn't have the ability to do what a true middle linebacker does.
Nope.
He is a.
He's just an
left side-
athlete.
He's a left side backer.
Yeah, he's an athlete.
He's an athlete. He's an athlete, but he would be better off on the left side. I'm sorry, on the right side, left side, and they need to find a true middle linebacker because that system that they do, he's a weak link.
Yep.
He's the weak link. I'm sorry. And thank God we got a Super Bowl with Levante David. If we did not, it would have been complete loss for Levante David.
Yeah.
As good as he is, bro, he needs help, man. And that the linebacker core is trash.
Yeah, it is.
Trash.
Outside of Levante, bro, you really don't have any quality linebackers. And Levante is an outside dude, and because we're playing a 3-4, guess what he has to play? Middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker, right?
So he's even playing out of
It-
position, but Levante is still
Out of
giving
position,
you something.
right. It is.
This
Like-
dude, man, listen, Warren Sapp played a clip from the Ravens game where I'm not even joking you, bro. Now you know Warren Sapp come from a time, bro, you pursue the ball. Even if you can't, if you ain't got a chance to make the tackle, you pursue the ball. That's what they practice. They practice pursuit angles, and everybody had to go. And
Right.
this dude here came off the ball snap, running. I think Lamar Jackson handed the ball off to the running back. He ran to the right side on like a sweep or something like that. This the whole clip. I'm not even joking you. The ball ran away from White, and White just stood there for a second with his hands on his knees. Then he stood up and he just looked at the play. And the dude was running down the sideline. And Warren Sapp say, I don't even know how you could even show up on Monday.
Monday, right.
He said, if you was on my team, you'll be taking that captaincy off of your chest. And see, a lot of people, they don't understand that. That's accountability. That's effort, bro. You can't. You lose. Now the game was 10-10 at this point. It was
Right.
a 10-10 ball game, and you're out there walking on the field, and that goes back to another comment that White made earlier in the season. I didn't like it because that showed me, bro, you're not a leader. We won the game, and a question was asked. I forget how the question was asked, but the dude literally sat there on the camera and said, "Oh, I get a little bored." What?
Really?
Yes. He was like, "Oh, sometimes I get a little bored and I just, do my own thing." Nah, bro. Nah. And a lot of people
No, you can't do that,
a
bro.
lot of people looked at that and they just kind of, laughed it off. Like, nah, bro. Leaders don't say that. You ain't never heard Levante David say no junk like that. You ain't never heard
Exactly.
Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Sapp, Simeon Rice, Brad Culpepper, Hardy Nickerson, Shelton Coils. You ain't
None
never
of-
hear none of them
none of
dudes
them.
talking about they get bored. Come on, man.
They
Dude,
thinking about, damn, was I in the wrong gap,
yeah.
or dang, I'm at least try to run. I can't catch a dude, but I'm still running.
Listen. Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's-
Derrick Brooks. I never forget this. Once Derrick Brooks, one of my favorite players ever.
Right.
Follow him from Florida State, and then it was
Yes, sir.
a dream come true when the Buccaneers drafted him, and I was like, shoot, now
Yes,
he
sir.
playing for my favorite team. Derrick
Yes, sir.
Brooks, last image on the football field as a player was him playing on a pulled hamstring, trying to chase a play down, even though he couldn't get to him. He was trying to chase the play down. At the end of the game when we lost to the Raiders that knocked us out of the playoffs that year.
Right.
And this dude talking about I get bored, and in the 10-10 ball game, you got the captaincy on your chest, and you literally are standing on the field watching your teammates, some of them defensive linemen, run right past you to go pursue the ball,
Past you,
and
right.
you just standing there.
I'm sorry. I have to bring this up, but when we beat the Saints, he made sure to blast the quarterback.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like,
And he ain't have to
You know
do that.
what?
He ain't have to do that.
you and Chris Godwin. Someone had someone.
Yep, it was Chris Godwin. I
on the
saw the
plane,
clip on the plane.
said something
He
about it.
approached
Like,
him.
bro, why
Yeah.
you do that? Like, bro, you talk trash about that man, but
Them
you were there when he was playing,
yeah.
and you weren't doing nothing to help him. On the defense,
Yeah.
y'all were giving up 40 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Godwin approached him on the plane and said, hey, I want to talk to you. Like man to man. Hey, I want to talk to you about what you said. And White was like, what you mean what I said? He was like, I said what I said. He was like, yeah, man, but you know, some of us are still friends with this dude, man. Like he a cool guy. You kind of just, went out of your way to bash him.
Right.
He was like, you didn't have to say it like that. You could have said it in many different ways, but you like went after him, talking about something. Well, he played with us, and all those years you see what he did when you got a little bit of pressure, bro. That's your teammate at that time. You shouldn't even been thinking of him like that as your teammate.
Thank you.
So,
and that speaks to me as integrity.
Yeah.
You have no integrity, bro.
Yep.
We hear so much on NFL film that players get mad, but you talking about your integrity, dog. You lose me, bro.
Yeah. Oh well.
I already don't like you.
Yeah.
But
no,
you lose. You're like, nah, man.
I didn't necessarily I don't hate White, you know what I'm saying? But he's a rah-rah.
No, I don't hate him.
He's a rah-rah dude. And
shot.
I don't like rah-rah dudes because you
didn't do nothing when y'all couldn't win a game.
Yeah. And
you was a middle linebacker. What was you doing?
It was
you was getting blasted 25 yards down the field.
Yeah, you see
running
and Jameis wasn't in the press conference talking about somewhere, you see our middle linebacker when he gets a block on him, he can't get off of it. So that's why he can't make plays.
Right.
I mean,
right.
And you know how I feel about Jameis, but Jameis was, he was the ultimate team guy. He didn't throw his teammates under the bus, and even as a Saint, he still ain't throw none of them dudes under the bus. Even when they played him and he quarterbacked the game and won, he didn't throw them dudes under the bus. It's a lot of guys on this team he's still friends with. if you friends with somebody, competitive or not, after the game, you still cool. You don't go out of your way to throw them under the bus.
Right.
You keep it
Integrity,
all,
bro.
you keep it to football. Coach dialed up some good packages to get us some pressure on the quarterback, and we just took advantage of them. That's how you
That's
that is
exactly.
how you say it.
That's what you're supposed to say. That's what you're supposed to say.
But
That's what you're supposed to say.
yeah.
But it's just like again. I don't want to spotlight that one thing, but it's just like I've been watching him, and he's just like, dude, you no, you
Yeah.
you not the player that people perceive, bro.
No, hey,
You
me
still high
and
school, bro.
you, bro, and a lot of Bucks fans, we come from a time where we know what real defense look like. And we had the pleasure to see
Exactly.
some historical middle linebackers play on our defense. So this dude here don't compare. He don't even measure up to Shelton Coors. And Shelton Coors
Right.
was a dude that started his career at outside, but because of Derrick Brooks, he moved to the middle to get on the field.
Right.
And Shelton Coors was an animal in the middle. And Shelton Coors,
And-
compared to Hardy Nickerson, was night and day.
Right.
So
And the one thing about Shelton Coors, he never said anything.
nope.
He was a silent killer.
Yep.
He did his job, and you can't say nothing about him. Like, okay, our middle linebacker is set. You know, he wasn't Hardy Nickerson, but he did his job,
Yep.
and he flowed with the team around him. Okay. Derrick Brooks, he can cover 3/4 of the field.
Yeah.
That's good. That's allowing me to do my business.
Yep.
He ain't. It's like, come on, man. This, like some of these players on our team, bro. It's just honestly, I kind of stopped watching our games when I could. I kind of stopped watching them because, like, from top to bottom, bro, it's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah. And
we already know.
yeah, we already
know.
because we've been bringing it up for seem like forever. But it's a miracle that we had these last 3 years to even have the pleasure to have somebody like a Brady as our quarterback. Because without him, bro, it'd be even worse. It would have been even worse because what we didn't have no successor in place. Even if they decided they was gonna move on from Jameis and we didn't get Brady, who we would have ended up with? Bridgewater. I mean,
like we can't protect him. We can't protect our quarterback.
no.
Number one.
Yep. And they wondering why Tom Brady's struggling. Well, shoot, we can't protect them. So as any quarterback, if you don't got protection, that QB clock in your head gonna speed up.
Exactly.
But somehow
Like,
people think
come on, man.
that this dude's still supposed to, be the Brady we know he can be. Bro, ain't no quarterback gonna match up. Look, Russell Wilson looks like a shell of himself in Denver.
He's doing that by himself.
I don't know. And then you got guys like, Josh Allen.
Right.
Just, playing, it's like he's playing at the ballpark with the whole league.
Right.
So again, folks, we just being like we always do. We just being open and honest about our assessment of the team we grew up as fans. But when we put these microphones in front of us, we can't be fans. We got to be objective, and we can't,
Objective, right?
you know. And what we saying ain't nothing new. We can go pull tape from probably 5-6 years ago, saying the same stuff about our roster and our needs, and you know, they still haven't been addressed. So this is where we at. No depth on the team. It's gonna be a
No
mess.
fire,
Yeah, no fire. And then,
no fire, no depth. Our general manager is a joke.
yeah,
I'm-
so
you know what? I cannot wait. I cannot wait until the end of this season.
yeah, because it's gonna have to get blown
When-
up. It's gonna have to get blown up. When Brady when Brady retires for the second time, and maybe he doesn't. I don't know, but there's still so many holes on this
He
team.
won't be here.
Yeah,
He won't be here.
no,
I'll tell you that. He won't be here.
no, but yeah, man.
They should have traded him to Miami and
Hey,
got a ransom.
yeah, we should have.
They should have did it.
Yeah, but hey,
They shoulda
man,
did it
as always, man, it is getting late, bro. We done went over. We in like
Yeah.
double overtime, and shoot, you supposed to be at work, bro. You ain't even at work.
I'm still at work. And I'm not doing anything right now. Hey, I dip off sometimes.
Yep. But we'll Sunday night, we'll be on Sunday night. I know it's been quite a few Sundays we haven't been on, but we will be on Sunday night because this season has been very interesting and surprising. But these games are also, a lot more competitive than they have been in years past. So you're seeing a little bit of balance within the league, which is always good. You hate to watch boring games like the Thursday night games, but oh, one more thing before we get off the air. I'm gonna say this every year until it happens. Amazon, you're not good at doing football. Stay away from broadcasting football games. Your quality is terrible. Terrible.
You remember that movie Riddick?
Yeah, with Vin
with
Diesel.
Vin Diesel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So part two. It was part two of that. One of the bounty hunters one of the bounty hunters got locked up with one of the animals. And all I keep saying for Amazon, you should have spent the money.
Yeah.
You should have spent the money.
Yeah.
You got the worst the worst shows this football season. It's like, bruh, come on.
I don't know what they
I don't
did,
even-
bro.
I don't even want to watch.
The sound quality is bad. The
The sound-
freaking
Everything is
the
bad.
picture, the like shutters. I don't know what they did, what settings they got on the cameras, but everything just looks bad. I'm like, man, this every week I post about it. Every week, man, these broadcasters are terrible.
And you know what? Ryan Fitzpatrick,
He's the best one they got.
he should be a Saint. Tony Gonzalez, they're like, I don't really want to be here.
Yeah.
But, all right.
Richard Sherman is, trying to be the over the top dude. He's trying to be Stephen A.
Yeah. it is just leave football to Fox.
Yep.
That's all.
Leave it to the people that's
Leave
been doing it
to
for
Fox.
100 years.
Right.
Yep. All right, brother.
All right, man. Hey, y'all can catch me on Rat Pack Sports on everywhere actually. Just send the cash out to me. Broke Man Rising. At least $25. And thank y'all. I'll let Debo finish it off.
All right, man. Hey, we appreciate everybody listening to the show. You can follow us on Twitter at Rat Pack Sports. Just join our group on Facebook, Rat Pack Sports Show, and join the like page as well, Rat Pack Sports. And we'll be back. We'll be back Sunday night for our NFL version of the show where we just talk football. So with that being said, left field correspondent, appreciate you coming in. William Graves as well, always Boss Hog, Sean Naylor, and Nicholas Lane, aka Nicky Buckets, Rain Man of the NBA. For coming on.
I forgot. Nicholas Lane asked me. He asked me to do that because he had to get out of it. So it's not on me. He asked me to send everyone news. Send Nicky Buckets.
Oh
news.
man, don't do that, man. Don't do
Send the news to Nicky. Hey, Sean, I got that bill money, dog. I got the bill money.
Oh my gosh.
You know I'm gonna finish it off somewhere.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna go. You know I'm gonna go left somewhere.
Yep. I know, man. Oh boy. All right, people. We I'm going, man. We'll see y'all we'll see y'all on Sunday night. This Rat Pack Sports Show signing out. Peace.
Peace.